Do you believe in ghosts? Some people do.
Are you trying to communicate with us?
Oh, freaky.
They were supposed to be dead. They hadn't been killed, but then were battered to death.
Some people think this building in Glasgow is haunted. So why do these two young people want to spend the whole night here, locked up, in the dark? It's 5 AM on a wet, wintry morning in Glasgow. 31-year-old Innes Smith is doing what he's done every morning for 18 months, getting ready to deliver the mail. Hours later, his girlfriend, 22-year-old Kirsty Allen, is settling down to her studies. She's a postgraduate student at Edinburgh University. Nothing unusual there. By day, they're just two ordinary young Scots leading ordinary lives. But by night, they lead very different and extraordinary lives. They are paranormal investigators, Scotland's own Mulder and Scully. To you and me, Ghostbusters. So what kind of things do they investigate?
Walking through walls, which is a traditional one.
Phantom diners.
Phantom diners. Noises.
Apparitions.
The cold spots, all the kind of traditional kind of haunting things you associate with haunting.
Kirsty and Innes are the new face of Britain's oldest paranormal organisation, the Scottish Society for Psychical Research. Their holy grail? Absolute proof of the paranormal.
I believe that people see ghosts, and I think even if you're the hard-nosed skeptic, you have to agree that throughout history and all over the world, people have seen ghosts, and they're still seeing ghosts. Often the people that are phoning us are treating us as some sort of a rent-to-kill. They want whatever is there to go. They want it to end, but they have to understand that we have to establish if there is actually something paranormal there.
Today they've been asked by the owners of Britain's oldest music hall, the Britannia Theater in Glasgow, to investigate the mystery of a ghostly soldier and some strange photographs taken inside the building. In their pursuit of hard evidence, they plan to interview witnesses to the ghostly sightings, search for clues in the building's history, and with other investigators stage an overnight vigil in the theatre.
No one should be under the impression that we're going there to exorcise their demons.
We're trying to sort of push it into an objective, scientific realm.
This is the Grass Market in Edinburgh, and this is a White Hart pub. Archie Laurie is a lifelong member of the society. Today he's come to talk with Zoe, the pub's chef. She thinks she's seen a ghost.
Down in the cellar is where we keep a lot of frozen food and a lot of the stuff that we need.
Yeah.
Basically, I was just putting stuff in, taking stuff out, and I looked up and there was just this figure just went sort of like that from there to there.
Almost within touching distance.
Oh yeah, exactly, like just at arm's length.
Yeah.
And well, it's not like I didn't see the whole thing, but it was more like I only really saw it from the waist down.
It just didn't make itself known to you, the top half, but the bottom half.
Yeah, I saw something and it was definitely a figure walking, and that's exactly what it was. But
did you feel frightened at that point when it passed you? Did you feel you felt fear rather than wonderment?
No, I was terrified.
You were terrified, yes. Did you have time to glance down to see if there were shoes down there? Or?
Oh, well, it was sort of like a moment where I was like,
yeah.
What was that? And then I just ran straight up those stairs.
Mark, the assistant manager, also has a spooky tale to tell.
I heard a very distinct sort of coming sort of from this area in this wall.
Yeah.
So I quickly got up and went around to the keg room, which is on the other side of this wall. And I sort of kicked the door open, expecting to find DJ hovering over a keg, having banged a keg against the wall, because it sort of sounded like that. When I opened the door, of course, DJ wasn't there, there was no one there. Again, after about 30-45 seconds, I heard the distinctive sort of This time, I was starting to become a little startled, and I sort of just stopped, and I quietly sat here, waiting to see, expecting to see DJ or someone come out. But at this point, the hair was sort of standing up on my neck, and it just really felt uncomfortable. So again, I began counting the money, this time a little more quickly and a lot quieter. And as I'm looking down at the money, a plate was crashing to the floor, right over there in front of the table. I quickly picked up the money, I threw it into the safe, locked the safe, and I got up and ran to the foot of the stairs. And again, I heard pounding, but this time it was... So, I guess sort of being the chicken that I am, I literally ran up the steps, set the alarm, turned the lights off, and I exited the building.
Archie works with Frances Ryan, regarded as one of Scotland's most talented mediums. They have a different sort of partnership. She doesn't need proof of ghosts. She sees and talks to them all the time.
Right, Frances, this is where something happened. So let's just relax and see if we can get impressions of something here.
Okay. But this one, I see quite a lot of tables in here.
You're feeling tables?
Tables, yeah. I also feel like a lot of, I think you would say, revelry, a lot of drinking, a lot of drunkards.
So this in its day was possibly the pub? Yeah,
that's just what I'm feeling, yeah. Oh. Here.
Now, in here, that's right. You got it in one. You got that. I didn't have to tell you. There may be something here that you might be interested in. Oh, a surprise, is it?
I have quite a well-dressed gentleman.
Yes.
And from the way I'm feeling about him, he's either a lawyer, okay, because I feel legal.
Okay.
What did you call it? In cahoots?
In cahoot? Okay. In cahoots. He was in cahoot with the rogues, yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm trying hard to get him to show forward here.
He's trying to show, yeah.
Frances is drawn to the beer cellar next door.
There's quite a small gentleman in here, in this area. Small, even smaller than me. He's quite hooped, bent.
Yeah.
He's bent.
Yes. Can you tell us why he's in this area? What's his function here?
He would be having the coins that would come in to do with the taking
the takings of the pub.
No. It was on. It was like protection.
It was protection money. It was a protection racket. All these years ago.
He done it. He was here. He was the plan.
Okay.
But what a horrible looking wee man.
A horrible looking wee man. Oh well, let's get out of here, the horrible looking wee man.
For Kirsty and Innes, Frances certainly does have a different approach, but they might still have to call upon her. For the moment, they've got their own ghosts to chase.
My experience with the building is the fact that I do regard her as a personality and as a friend, and people think I'm a bit barking for that. But I never feel like I'm alone in this building. Never. You know, at any time. And this building is a constant sort of source of comfort for me, really, and company and companionship.
The recently rediscovered Britannia Theater was built in 1857. In its heyday as a music hall, it provided a cheap and popular night out, shocking audiences with a freak show on the 5th floor and a zoo in the basement.
I've had 3 people now say they've seen the ghost of a soldier up in the balcony. The last one was actually this summer in around about August time, July-August time. A lady from South Africa came in and she actually said that she saw, she said, a bull standing up in the...
Are you looking at the location?
Up there, yeah.
So in that
She
corner
saw it
there?
up there. Kind of halfway up, yeah. Not quite in the corner, I'm about to
Did
be.
you get a description of what he was wearing or anything?
She called him a boer and then pointed to the poster up there, it's a long way to Tipperary, and said she sees a man standing in a red uniform.
Okay.
Shop worker Derek Green was looking round the building one day when he saw the ghost.
What I was picking up was a soldier, roughly around the age of 28. Now, he was just standing at the door, the stairway, as if he was guarding it. Now, the feelings that I got was that he was very much happy here, but at the same time was guarding the building as well.
Okay, that's great.
And there's another piece of evidence.
We've got this fantastic object here, which is a button from a soldier's uniform, and this button was found underneath the balcony seating, where a couple of people have actually claimed they've seen a soldier in a red uniform, which is the sort of uniform this button would have come from.
Kirsty and Innes plan to test Frances. They'll give her the button and other lost items from the Britannia. Frances knows nothing about them or where they came from. So, will she be able to identify our ghostly soldier? Meanwhile, Kirsty and Innes head to the Mitchell Library in Glasgow to uncover more about the Britannia's bizarre past.
1907. For Pickard's Museum and Waxwork, Johngate, now in exhibition the Irish Leprechaun, the only one that has ever been captured alive.
It's a dwarf-like figure who sat in a sort of a cage. When anyone tried to speak to him, he replied in a peculiar sound between a growl and a squeak.
This idea of the only one that's been captured alive, I mean, there would have been human suffering because this guy was probably not a leprechaun, but was in fact just a little person.
It's called the stone tape theory, that for whatever reason a location acts as some sort of tape recording device, and anything of a particularly strong emotional strength or value is recorded and is replayed at certain times of the year
under certain conditions,
or to certain individuals that can pick it up. So who knows what will happen?
Because there may well be even more freakish and more surprising anomalies to be uncovered.
Some new evidence emerges. Out of the blue, they get a call from Linda Woods. She too was a visitor to the Britannia and has some pictures that might interest them.
When you look at it from a distance, you can see what I think looks to be a leprechaun, and he seems to have a cleft chin.
Okay, and why would you say leprechaun? Why?
It's just an impression that I get. He just kind of looks like a leprechaun.
Okay. Are you aware of any mythology or stories or anything attached that might cause you to think that?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not.
Could they be looking at the face of the disfigured freak act? For Linda, the evidence is still upstairs.
See it there?
Just watch your feet.
Yes, I see it. This is the area just around here.
But Linda also has some other interesting pictures.
As you can see, there are two very, very clear globes, maybe even three, and that could be interpreted for me as the bright one.
Right. What do you interpret in the photographs? What is it you see?
I can actually see faces in the photographs.
Okay.
But I'm really delighted that there is something here.
Okay.
It's more a pleasure to discover that they're revealing themselves to us through these pictures.
Have you ever taken photographs with your digital camera not in this building and seen the same effect?
No, I have taken plenty of digital pictures, but not with any kind of effect whatsoever. Definitely no globes, nothing whatsoever, nothing anomalous.
Innes is having some problems with Linda's leprechaun story.
This is the image in the concrete?
Yes.
Well, fair dues, it does look like a face, but I think that's entirely random.